transgenderism, man. It like affects the 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 children because you have undercover dudes going around and raping kids, man, and molesting kids and putting them in real awkward situations, man, and like even killing the kids, man, and just they traumatizing the kids and they putting weird messages in the kids' brains to like they trying to like get them to think that certain things are okay and they accept things at an early age so grow up in them and like the overall message is tainted, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you try to speak out, they try to cancel you. And even when you are vocal about the fact that it's like, do whatever you got to do over here, but stop incorporating the kids. That's my point. They still want to cancel you. It's like, man, y'all don't care about children. Like, like what is wrong with y'all, man? You know, like that's what get me mad. You know, it take a lot before I get mad. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all about being stoic. You know what I'm saying? You know, I try to practice where I preach. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. You know what I'm saying? But I am a grown man, and I have to be accountable. And you know, the Most High wants me to remain steadfast in my emotions. So I try every day to remain calm through adversity, pressure, all the tests that the world, that men and women alike, you know, throw my way. You know what I'm saying? I try to pass it at work, outside, wherever I'm at. You know, it is what it is. But one thing that for sure makes me upset is when innocent children get hurt, when innocent children are put in harm's way, when innocent children are not cared about, when they're overlooked, when you try to bring them up and people just don't want to like acknowledge it. Like, bro, I don't care what your perspective is. If children are getting hurt, drop whatever drop it, man. It's kids involved now. Drop it. We can agree to disagree all day, every day, but once kids are involved, man, there has to be some sort of agreement that has to be reached because kids are a blessing. The Most High, God said himself, kids are a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying? It was meant for the seed to be spread throughout the whole world, man. You gotta stop killing kids through abortion. Stop killing kids through rape. Stop, you know, killing kids through the kidnapping and the murder. You know what I'm saying? Stop traumatizing kids. Stop tainting their brains. Stop miseducating them, hiding stuff from them, lying to them. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Protect the children, man. Because the children are our generation upcoming, man. And if we don't, we're not going to have no generation no more. We're going to kill ourselves, depopulate ourselves, man. And we're going to give exactly what the evil forces want, man. The evil forces out here are jealous because men have a purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? That the Most High is set in store for them. You know, and if we wiped out, how are we going to achieve that purpose, man? So it's like the children are everything, man. I love kids, man. They're a blessing, man. We got to protect them, man. For real. And like all these different movements, they affect kids. Now, like I may not believe in these movements. You may believe in them, even though I don't. We can agree to disagree. We have perspectives and everything. Fine. I'm coming with the facts. You coming with your side, whatever. But stop involving the children. Do whatever you got to do over here, but stop putting the children in the middle. That is my point. Bring masculinity back. We got to put things back in order. We got to get close to the Most High. The Most High is the structure. The Most High is the structure, man. The Most High is literally the glue to everything. When you have a family, he's the glue. When you want society to go a certain way, he's the glue. When you in a relationship with a woman and you a man, he's the glue. Because he structured everything, he created everything, so he knows how everything works. So whenever you want to indulge in something, you got to consult him first so that everything goes according to how he structured it. But if you try to go away from him and you try to do things with your own thought process, or you try to hop on the bandwagon of society and whatever current norm they're pushing, you know what I'm saying? That's when things get sour. That's when things become a train wreck because you're trying to go this way and that way and that way and that way. And none of it is natural, man. You're trying to create new things out of thin air. But there was stuff that already existed. Why don't we just use that? It was never broke. Stop trying to fix something that's not broke. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. But you got all these different movements that's trying to fix something that was never broke in the first place, just because people are trying to get things to go their way and customize every single little detail to their liking to avoid accountability for the truth. Because if they face the truth, they got to look in the mirror and face all the things that they're messing up on and correct them actively. Every single day, get better and self-improve. A lot of people don't want to do that. They feel like they're not cut out to do it. They feel like, who cares? They don't want to do it. You know, it's a lot of reasons for it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, their way of deflecting is criticizing the ones who are vocal about it, like me, like a lot of people out there. You know what I'm saying? But that's what real men do. They're vocal about it. You know, the Most High said, be bold. You know, like, shout his message to the rooftops. He wants men to be men, for real. He made them to be conquerors of the earth. How are we going to be conquerors of the earth if we're afraid of getting canceled by some internet fiends, man? By some keyboard warriors. You know what I'm saying? By some miseducated people that are just going along with the narrative, going along based off of what people are speaking into their ear. They're not really looking into things for themselves, reading and researching themselves and putting the facts together. They're not praying to the Most High for clarity on things, for the truth. They just taking everything that people tell them and they listening to it and just believing it, not asking no questions, not trying to find no truth, no wisdom, no nothing. And it leads to a whole ball of confusion. But then they want to turn around, they want to cancel you for knowing all of this and trying to help. That's really the point, man. It's all just like education, man. You know, the truth ain't meant to make people happy, man. Happiness can always be a byproduct of learning the truth. That's always there. That's like, that can happen. But the ultimate goal is not happiness by learning the truth. Learning the truth, specifically, the Most High said, is so that you can be set free. Set free, he described as being reproofed, being corrected. And he said that if you dismiss, if you reject reproof and correction, then you're a fool. Because through reproof and correction, there's wisdom. So when people speak out with these uncomfortable truths, it's not really to hurt you. It's just people all about emotions and feelings these days, that they close their ears to stuff that really can help them. But if you just sit back and you take it on the chin. Man, I did that and that. Oh, I didn't know that. It takes a lot to admit when you're wrong about something. You know what I'm saying? But it's always worth it, because the more time you try to, no, I'm right. When you know deep down that something that you just heard is making sense and something just triggered you to go and check something out, look for something yourself and look into it or whatever, you know, you're just wasting your own time. You know what I'm saying? We only get one life. So what's the point in wasting time, man? We're supposed to be learning as much as we can this lifetime, bro. We have no problem putting these vain things first, making them priority. You know, the stuff that really doesn't matter, and we like putting value on that. You know what I'm saying? But the stuff we really should be putting value on, it's just like, it'll be there. It's over here collecting dust. We never get to it. By the time we get to it, it's too late. Now all of a sudden we want to rush last minute like a school assignment that's due at 11:59. Why would you want to put yourself in that position, wait last minute? We could just start little bit by little bit now, so that by the time you get to the end, you got this wealth of wisdom, this wealth of knowledge that you can use to further educate people who aren't there yet, man. It's all about helping each other out. How can you help someone if you don't even know yourself? It's a lot of blind leading the blind out there, you know what I'm saying? And we got to open our eyes and we got to have clarity, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop being afraid of getting canceled. It's a lot of people that's just so afraid of getting canceled. They're so afraid of getting banned off of platforms, man. You know? And it's like the people know this. Like a bully knows when they can keep bullying you. They know when to stop too, because they know like how far they can push. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get no respect because like we either won't speak up at all, or we speak up and then we go back on our word. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Why? What did you do wrong? I spoke the truth. Someone didn't agree with it. I'm sorry. There's no need to say sorry. Why would you want to apologize for speaking a truthful message that can educate people just because that person doesn't agree? Just because that person is throwing a fit. That doesn't mean you got to apologize. That just means that person isn't ready to receive it, man. And the more we are cowards, the more people are going to run over us. So by the time we really try to speak the truth, then we really not going to be listened to. Because it's like, man, all this time, now you want to speak up. That's why we really got to keep fighting with the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Enough with going out and killing each other and stuff like that. You know? Like, enough with all these wars, man. Stop. Stop the killing, stop the murder, man. We got to use the armor. We got to use the weapons of truth. Because when you use those kinds of weapons, you know what I'm saying? You're literally wearing the armor of God. And with those kinds of weapons and with that armor, you're exhibiting love. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of message you want to put out. It all has to stem from love. And sometimes you got to provide tough love. You know what I'm saying? Even the Most High has done it plenty of times with his people, exhibiting tough love because they don't listen. They need chastising. That don't mean that he hate them. That's just like, when you give constructive criticism to women to help them become better, they want to say you're a misogynist. They want to say that you hate them, and that's why they became feminists. Why? Because I gave you constructive criticism to help you? You're over here complaining about how you can't find the man that you really want. But I'm telling you how to get better and how to put yourself in the position, how to prepare yourself to get that man, and you don't want to listen because you're calling it hate. It's not hate, it's help. And really, someone who loves you for real and someone who really wants to help you will not sit back and let you go in the direction where they can see that it's a detriment to you in your life. They'll step in and they'll be like, hey, I know that you're going this way, but this could really help you if you do this and that. That don't mean they hate you. That mean they got love for you. But you see, like, it's connotations associated with love and hate nowadays to where things are flipped the other way, to where it's like, and the Most High foreshadowed this. He said the good will become bad, the bad will become good. So it's like the perception is flipped, man. So whenever we speak the truth, we're hateful. What's wrong with you? Who hurt you and stuff like that. But when people lie with a smile on their face, it's like, oh yeah, man, that makes me so happy. It's crazy how that works, man. How the heroes are perceived as the villains and the villains are perceived as the heroes, man. It's crazy. But we got to just adapt. We can speak on it all day, but really we got to adapt and we got to pray more than ever, be close to the Most High more than ever, and just really just keep putting the truth out there no matter what. We can't stop. We can't complain about it because if you complain, you say the same. Shout out Steph is cold. But even though we not complaining about it, that don't mean that we got to close our mouths about it either. We have mouths, we have a mind, we have a message. Let's speak on it. Let's not water it down. Let's not bite our tongue. Let's speak it the way that it is. The Most High gave a message. Let's deliver it the way that he gave it, the way that he wants it to be delivered. And stop trying to cater to all these people because their feelings get hurt. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that you're not in tune with people's feelings. It doesn't mean that you don't have sympathy or empathy for people. It's the fact that you are speaking the truth because you're looking out for that person. You're thinking long term of how if this person doesn't know the truth, like where their life can go in the long run. That really is sympathy and empathy. It's just like people are expecting you to deliver sympathy and empathy in a certain way, and when they don't see it, it's channeled in their mind as something negative. It's not negative, man. It's just constructive. Think about your sports coach. You know what I'm saying? If you did sports, your basketball coach ain't always delivering stuff in a nice way. He may deliver stuff in the firm way. He may get you mad, get you riled up a little bit, but don't it help you get better? Don't it light a fire under you? Don't it make you want to, oh man, ooh. Don't that anger turn into motivation and you pushing and you pushing, next thing you know, you getting better as a team and you beating the other team? But if he just sugarcoat everything, if he just let you do whatever, be on whatever kind of diet, you practice whenever you want, you really gonna win? You may get a win or two, but are you gonna really win games as much as you really could if you practiced and were instilled with discipline? You can be motivated, you can be happy all you want, but if you don't got that discipline, if you don't got the truth in you, if you don't got that constructive criticism that you even telling yourself, not just from other people telling you, you know what I'm saying? And you're not trying to self-improve, you're not gonna get nowhere compared to, oh man, if you did have it and if you did accept it. And that goes for men and women alike. That goes for men and women alike. And I would even say it applies to men, especially because we in a leadership role. So even though we want women to come correct in their position as feminine and nurturing mothers, you know, feminine and nurturing human beings according to their nature, you know what I'm saying? We still got to set the biggest example as men by being in our nature too. We got to stop letting society feminize us. We got to stop being afraid to speak out. Women like a man who take charge anyway. If you can't even speak up on a simple truth, how can you speak up to someone who's going against your woman? How could you step in front of your woman and protect her when somebody is putting her in harm's way? If you can't even speak up on something little because you're afraid of somebody getting offended on Twitter, come on, man. We got to be stronger than that, man. And that's why now that we speaking out, it's not being received because we taking longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and longer to speak out, man. So by the time we do speak out, it seems like a freaking foreign message. It seems like a freaking foreign language because we taking too long. If we would have been, it's just like the whole thing. Like if you watch certain dating coaches, they say, when you first meet a woman, make your intentions clear right away. Because if you act like certain things are okay, and then months down the road, years down the road, all of a sudden you want to enforce a boundary, she gonna look at you sideways like, why didn't you say that at first? I thought it was okay. That's the same thing, bro. Like as men, how we gonna let stuff slide, let women walk over us, call us all these names, not take charge, let them manipulate us, let them thirst trap us, you know, let them empty our pockets, you know, deplete us of our attention, you know, distract us from our main goal of getting close to the Most High and self-improving ourselves inwardly and outwardly, hitting the gym, being on our purpose, achieving our goals. Like, how we going to do all this, right? And everything's cool. Now, all of a sudden, we want to speak out and we expect to be received like that. No, it's going to take some time. We got to fight to get our respect back and fight to get our position back. And just because it's hard don't mean that we got to give up. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a man who can overcome adversity, who can overcome the pressure that people around him are putting on him through endurance, through prayer, through long suffering, that's the most respectable man. Women have no choice but to respect that man because they threw tests all his way. People threw tests all his way, and he passed them. Okay, you threatened to cancel me. I'm going to speak the truth anyway. Okay, you took this video down. I'm going to put another one up. Okay, you took my channel down. I'm going to make a second channel. Okay, you're plastering me all over the news trying to ruin my reputation. I'm still going to show up, and I'm going to do interviews regardless of whether people like me because, like, I'm willing to put the fact that people don't like me at risk, you know what I'm saying, to get people to know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, as a man, we men of respect. We not men of being liked. Where did that come from? Since when have you heard that, man? Oh, we're men of being liked. We want everybody to like us. That's what makes us real men. Come on, man. The most real men, the realest men are the ones who are the most respected. Hands down, straight facts, bro. There's so many examples out there. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Research. Like, look into it yourself and you'll see I'm right, man. Even when it comes to relationships, women not going to love a man for real if she don't respect him. And the only way she could respect him is if he's being a man's man. Regardless of what she say, she trying to change him because it's in a woman's nature to want to control a man nowadays because of the emotions, like society attached to a woman's emotions to think that she has to have control over all the relationships she's in with men and stuff like that, and be better than men and compete with men and stuff like that. We gotta retrain women in their mind to think the traditional way, like, oh, we could use men, you know, not use them, but I mean, like, we could like we could benefit from having them in our lives instead of, oh, we don't need them. Like, come on, man. Like, even as a man, I'm not gonna say I don't need women. Like, why would I say that, man? That just sounds stupid. We need women, man. Like, they they're the beautiful humans that bring more beautiful humans, the babies, the young kids, into our world. You know, the blessings that God made. Like, he created the process of birth. Like, that's a blessing. Like, so it's like, I love the beauty of the nature of a woman. It's just that, unfortunately, because of society's norms and the things that have been twisted around, that have turned women bitter and spiteful and vengeful because their emotions have been tapped into greatly, you know, they are ashamed of their own nature. Whenever you tell a woman to be feminine, it's like, oh, why I gotta. That's who you are. You afraid to, they say, oh, accept me for who I am. I'm telling you, like, that's who you are. Why don't you want to accept it? Why do you want to compete with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, women and men are not supposed to compete with each other. They're supposed to complement each other. The Most High said that when men and women are together on earth, they're supposed to walk in agreement, because the Most High and the Son of the Most High walk together in agreement too. And they set the biggest example. So when you follow the Most High, you walk in agreement too with your woman. The Most High said that it's better to be alone than be in the same room with a quarrelsome woman, man. A woman who's always arguing all the time, always in opposition to you, always trying to tell you what to do when she's not in a leadership position. You know what I'm saying? Like, women, just be women. Just be feminine. Just be how the Most High made you, and just do what the Most High is requiring of you to do. Men, do the same thing. Be men. Stop letting stuff feminize you, man. There's nothing wrong with being masculine. You know, there's nothing wrong with being 100% masculine. You don't need to pretend like you have a feminine side just to get the 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 likeness of other people. You need respect, because you're not going to get nowhere with no respect. You think that people would be like, okay, the Most High is very, very patient, right? You may say, why did he chastise his people? Well, it's because he wasn't getting respect. Yeah, they liked him for whatever. Yeah, they rained manna down. He fed them and stuff like that. He got them through the sea with Moses. He, like, but at the end of the day, even though the Most High kept coming back and rescuing his people, and helping them out and destroying their enemies for them, they liked that at the time, but then they went back to disobeying him, because at the end of the day, they didn't have no respect for him. So what did he have to do? He had to stand firm, emphasize the boundaries or the commandments, the rules, the laws, and statutes that he made to get that respect. Does he hate his people? No. He loves them enough to get that respect so that they don't ruin things for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, because women, like, they'll ruin things for themselves. They don't respect the man, right? So the man will, okay, I'm gonna go this way, and then the woman ends up with no opportunity to get the man that she really desires, because she grew up thinking that, oh, I'm supposed to treat men this way, and then she got hit with a cold reality when it was too late, that, oh man, I should have been treating them this way. I should have been behaving this way. I should have been getting myself together like this. But society told me to go this way. I listened to them. Oh man, it's too late now. It's crazy, man. We got to bring masculinity back, man. More men need to speak up. Shout out to the ones who are speaking up, man. I'm speaking up the best way I can. I just don't have a big enough following on YouTube yet, but I'm getting there. You know, I'm going to keep dishing out these videos, putting the truth out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really afraid of cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in an era before before that even existed. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the men that I grew up around, they was masculine. You know, like it was just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like they was natural. They was who they were meant to be. You know what I'm saying? They weren't trying to create something new out of nowhere and force it on people, you know, like a lot of people do nowadays. So it's like I can't water myself down for nobody, man. I can't succumb to the pressure that they trying to put me and other men like me under, man. So, you know, I'm gonna keep speaking out and shout out to other men too, you know, that's controversial out here because they speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like Steph is cold, man. Shout out to him, man. Thai X Worldwide, man. The Taekwondo, man. The Myron Gaines, man. You know what I'm saying? Like all of them, man. You know, because that's what we need, man. At the end of the day, like the world has gone too far down this rabbit hole, so we have to fight and we have to deal with the backlash and we have to adapt to it. We have to be stoic through. We can't get emotional. We can't get offended back because they got offended. Because, like, they, we speak the truth, they get offended, they give an emotional based response, and then we get offended, we lose our stoic frame, and then we give an emotional response back, and therefore we lose the respect that we're trying to build back. So just because they get offended and they give us a emotional based response, we got to be stoic, let it brush off our shoulders and keep speaking the truth from pure logic, man. And I suggest that before we ever make videos, before we even speak or whatever, you know, just consult the Most High before you do any of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So that it can really reach the people who need to hear it, man. That at the end of the day, like, that's the most important thing.